Another rough outing for the Seahawks. They dropped their second straight game Sunday, a 23-13 loss to Arizona. Our friend Terry Holloman breaks down everything we need to know with former Seahawk Cliff Averill.
Cliff, man, please, can you make it stop? The pain is too deep. The Seahawks have another loss, putting them at 3-7 on the season. Do the Hawks have any chance of turning this thing around, or should they be concentrating on the draft coming up and rebuilding?
The draft, man. Who talks about the draft? Like this Seattle now. We not with that. We don't quit on games or seasons or anything like that. With the guys that they got in that locker room, there's no conversation going on like that right now. There's still a lot of football to be played. Do I think they can turn it around? Yeah, I think anything's possible with Russell Wilson and Bobby Wagner out there. Now, they haven't looked like themselves, or should I say Russ hasn't looked like himself these last couple of weeks since coming back. But I still think he has a lot to prove to himself, more so than anything, but to the city of Seattle. So with that, knowing that, I think he can keep pushing. I think we can win some ball games.
A disclaimer for you, Cliff, and for everybody out there. I just said that because that's what everybody else in the city's been saying, been talking about. Should we look at rebuilding? I personally don't think they should. I think they should always fight. Like Pete Carroll says, fight for every blade of grass, right? Let's fight for every second that's left in this season.
That goes against the mantra too. You can't be looking for draft picks talking about competing like that. Like that's not competing. You know what I'm saying? That's not competing at all. So no, I don't see them kind of laying down and allowing that to happen.
Right. The Arizona Cardinals are a really good team, and they might just be the best team in the NFL, but they were out there starting quarterback Kyler Murray. We know how good he is, and the Seahawks still couldn't pull out a win, though. What is the main thing, in your opinion, that just isn't clicking with these guys?
Well, talk about the Arizona Cardinals. They're a great team. And that showed, right? They're a great team, even without their playmakers and Kyler. They're a great team. So collectively, they came together and put a ball game together. But for us, as far as for Seattle, Russ doesn't look like himself. I think that finger's still bothering him. It is his throwing hand, and I think you can see that on some throws. Some of these throws I'm not used to seeing Russ make. Some of these throws are kind of floating a little bit, and I don't like to make excuses. I'm sure Russ doesn't like excuses either, but there is a little bit of a difference, and I think he's trying to get used to having that finger feeling the way it is with him throwing the ball. So I think that plays a big role. The defense, we got to be able to stop, man. We got to be able to get off the field. Third downs are hurting us.
Okay, let's put all that to bed now. Everything that's happened so far in this season, including last week's loss. Let's look forward to the future. Next week, the Seahawks are heading up to the East Coast. They're going to play the Washington football team on Monday night. All eyes on the Seahawks. How do these two teams match up, in your opinion?
Well, even though we just talked about Russ and, he hasn't been playing that well, he's trying to get better. I'm always going to take Russ over any young quarterback. You know what I mean? And the quarterback that they have over there, Taylor, however you say his name, he's been playing some ball. Obviously, they went out and won. They won against Carolina last week. But I'm willing to take Russ over these guys. Prime time, Bobby and all those guys on defense are going to be amped up and ready to play. I think this will be that game, and I hope this will be that game that kind of turns things around a little bit, and they can go on this run.
Yeah, I hope so too. I know everybody else out there hopes so too. Cliff, Thanksgiving is coming up really quick. I know we got excitement about the turkey day that's coming on, but I know you were on the Seahawks team that went out to San Francisco on Thanksgiving Day in 2014, and we'll never forget that image of Richard Sherman and Russell Wilson eating turkey legs on the 50-yard line. What are your memories of that game, and did you get any of that turkey?
You know what? Them guys are selfish, man. They ain't give nobody none of that turkey, man. I didn't even know they got turkey until we watched the highlights the next doggone day, man. But I've been blessed to play on. When I was in Detroit, I played on Thanksgiving every year, and then playing obviously with the Seahawks in 2014. It was just great memory. One, everybody in your mama's watching. Everybody's watching. Everybody's enjoying their food. But the biggest thing is obviously getting a dub against the 49ers. At that time, that rivalry was unreal. You know what I mean? Guys, it was like I had beef with San Francisco. You know what I mean? And so just being able to get a win in front of the nation, we got 4 sacks that game. I had one myself. It was just overall just a great team win, but in particular that defense. You know, Sherm had 2 picks. Guys were playing lights out. You know, we were still playing at an elite level, and the world got to watch us on Thanksgiving. So it was definitely a blessing to be able to, you know, put out and show out, should I say, in front of the world that night.
All right, go Hawks, and let's get Cliff some turkey.